Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the fabulous Will Harlow.
Hi everyone. It's a massive honour to be asked to come up, so thank you for that. If you don't know me, my name's Will Harlow, and I've got a small but rapidly growing physio clinic down in Surrey, so just southwest of London. And I was first introduced to Paul, or I should say Paul found me in 2016. And it was actually a Facebook ad that got me. And I was working in the NHS at the time. So unlike a lot of the people in here who found Paul when they were already business owners, I didn't even know that I wanted to be a business owner when I first was introduced to Paul's stuff. And the ad that he found me with said that there was a guy in the northeast of England, in Hartlepool, who was charging 3 times the amount that I thought was the absolute maximum anyone could ever charge for a physio session in an economically challenged town. So I don't know why it grabbed me, but I was just really intrigued what this guy was doing. It must have been different. And the ad took me to a podcast, and I started listening to the podcast, and I liked his humor. I thought he was straight talking. It was different to some of the kind of American stuff that dominates the podcast world, and I just consumed podcast after podcast, and eventually joined Cash Club, bearing in mind at this point I didn't even have a business, so a very slow mover. But in 2 years' time I got the courage to strike out on my own. I left the NHS, started my own practice, and through continuing to follow his material and the support of some of the guys in here, I mean, things are just completely different for us now. My whole life's changed. We've got a thriving practice. We've got people coming to see us from all over the country. We've doubled our revenue in the past year and tripled our profit. And we've got a thriving team hoping to expand into a bigger location. So, I mean, that's what the material has done for me. But I thought on the way here on the plane, I was thinking, what are the main things that I've learned from Paul? And I can put them into 3 categories. So I think the first thing that Paul taught me was the how-to. So he showed me how to market, he showed me how to sell, how to hire, how to grow a team, how to create a culture, all of the stuff that you need to know to actually grow the business. So it's the tactical, strategic stuff, but I actually don't think that was the most important. The second thing he taught me was how to think. So the mindset around how to deal with adversity, how to set lofty goals, how to work really hard in pursuit of something specific, and basically how to think independently, how to look at the world differently. And I think that was even more valuable. But by far for me, the most valuable thing that he taught me was through his own example and through bringing together a community like the people in this room. He showed me what's actually possible for someone like me. And I mean, if I hadn't been targeted by that Facebook ad in 2016, I think I probably would have still been sat in that NHS cubicle, miserable as sin. So basically, I just wanted to say thank you to him. Thank you to the guys here. His team is fabulous. Just looking around at the team that Paul's built is enough of a lesson for most of us business owners, how he managed to get such a good group together. And then finally, the community. It's brilliant what he's built here. And I mean, just at breakfast today, I was speaking to Nash and Dave, and they've already given me some ideas that I'm going to implement when I get home. So, I mean, there's a lot there, but thank you, Paul, for everything you've done. And can please everyone join me in welcoming Mr. Paul Gough to the stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, a round of applause for Will, not for me. Yeah, good morning. Always my favourite part of the day, listening to the stories, because it reminds you kind of what we've built and where we've come from, and really the impact that you're making on people's lives, and collectively I think we're doing it together. What I always think when people say, I would have been stuck, or I would have been still in the NHS, or I would have been still doing what I was doing before I'd found you, I think you guys would always find a way Like Will would have found a way. Hopefully we've just helped him do it faster. Like you've got that ambition, you've got that tenacity, you've got something that is causing you to look for this stuff in the first place. So we can't do anything about that. We just have to hope that the people that we find, or when the Facebook ads get ran, unfortunately you can't tick a box that says ambitious, tenacious, gives a shit, like wants better for himself, etc. You can't really do that. So when we put the ads up, we're just hoping that that's the type of character that we find, because we know that those guys and those girls are going to go on and do very well anyway. And hopefully if we just give them the right tools, the resources, whether it's the scripts, whether it's processes, we give them the people, we give them time, we give them calls, we give them tough love sometimes, you kick up the ass, whatever it is. Those are the ingredients, if you like, that you need to be successful. So it's as much to do with a little bit of what we do, and now definitely my team, but it's 100% down to you and your characters. And that's definitely something I've learned over time. Is you can take the horse to the water, if you like, but you can't make them drink it. And that's ultimately what Will has done phenomenally well. And in all honesty, Will's probably inspired me. When I spoke to him in June, there was just like a new wave of people that we'd started to see come into the community and get in touch with us. And Will was one of the ones that in the summer I was like, wow, like something's changing here. There's just something happening in the community in the UK and Ireland. There's just more people setting up their own businesses. There's more people being entrepreneurial. There's more people think it's cool to be an entrepreneur and to want to make money. And like there's a sign there that what do we do? Somebody said I need a slogan for the sign. And I said, well, what do? We help physios make lots more money guilt-free, right? And that's one of the problems that you guys have, like in the UK and Ireland. There's such a guilt trip around being rich and making money. You come from a privatised, a socialist, if you like, system, the NHS. And it is awkward when you're talking about money, and it is difficult when you're telling people. I got a WhatsApp message of somebody in this room, and it was almost like, I don't know how to tell you, but I've just made £500,000 in the last 12 months. And it's like, it's quite concealed, and it's like, I don't dare tell anybody, right? It's like, well, if I was in America, it would be fucking blasted all over Facebook, like it would be announced on the podcast. Like the cultural difference is huge, and I think I just wish sometimes that you'd celebrate a bit more the success that you've had, because it's not a bad thing to want to make money. It's not a bad thing making money. Just have some fun, and you can do a hell of a lot of good with it, with the skills that you get that actually go into making the money that you are now. So well done. Round of applause again for Will and the Get On. Well done.